And so from my perspective, I believe self-confidence is something we can gain, we can learn, we can grow when we start to dig into who we are, learn who we are, and stop hiding those things. That because that shame and that fear of all of people finding us out and finding out about whatever our shadow is killing our self-confidence.
One of the one of the things I witness in society, in general, just in general, period, but even amongst a lot of men, is that is the front that I'm going to say we, because I put myself in the category of men. I try not to live this way, but I see this front that a lot of guys can put on. And that front is almost like a movie set. Like, if you ever been to Disney or Universal Studios or something like that, or some sound lot or something like that, uh, where I mean, it's everything looks from the front like, from the street version, everything looks like, wow, this is a neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then as soon as you peek behind that front layer, you realize there's absolutely nothing there, and it can trip you out when you do peek behind that.
It's the
But
definition of fronting.
there's almost a syndrome of being, I like to call it, being a mile wide but an inch deep.
Mm.
And like I said, I think it's a cultural thing, but also a masculine thing, where we look big and scary, but in most cases, there's not a lot of depth.
I mean, it goes back to kind of you want to be the warrior in the garden, not the gardener in the war. The loudest guy in the room tends to be the most afraid. The most capable, smartest, toughest guy in the room tends to be the most silent. And so self confidence may seem like, oh, bravado, and I got to be the alpha dog, and I got to be the loudest, and up front, I got to be the leader. But real self confidence is quiet, just like real strength is quiet, and real strength comes with kindness. It's not all about being rude or being the loudest or being mean. A lot of guys didn't get the education about what real self confidence is, and so they kind of picked it up here and there and everywhere, thinking, oh well, I'll watch this tough guy story or this action adventure thing and this superhero guy, and so that's how I get self confident. But self-confidence, really, the root is sense of self. As a man, you need to know yourself.